to town today and we got some more welding wire. We actually got some more oxygen for the torches as well. But some of you guys may know, minimum wage just went up here in Ontario. It went from like a $11.65 up to $14 an hour. So pretty much the price of everything in Ontario is going up like you wouldn't believe. For example, my welding wire that I normally buy, it's a 10-pound spool, it's flux core, so it's a little bit more expensive. Normally runs me $74. Today, it cost me $94. So because minimum wage went up here in Ontario, we all have to suffer. And it's not a very good thing. Everybody thinks minimum wage is going to fix everything being a higher value, but it's not. It's really not. When I entered the working force, I was 15 years old. And when I first started, I was making $5.65 an hour. And you guys may think that, oh, that was so long ago, things were cheaper back then. Things were a little cheaper, yes, but honestly, it wasn't that big of a difference. The only reason things have got more expensive is because minimum wage has gone up. Now people are making $14 an hour, and next year they're going to be making $15 an hour. Things are just going to get more and more expensive, and it sucks for people like me, because now I'm going to have to pay more and more, $20 more for this spool of cable. And I'm not saying that the price of this spool of cable only went up because the price of minimum wage went up, but it's probably a determining factor. So now that we got the welding wire put through the welder, we can finish our welding on the threaded rods. Happy I got that threaded rod done. Now what we're going to do is we need to come up with a bumper for this. And I'm not sure if I'm going to run the factory bumper or if I'm going to run a different bumper or what I'm going to do exactly. I do have a couple full-size steel back bumpers. The problem is that in Ontario, where I'm going to run this car, some derbies require stock bumpers, some derbies require rebar bumpers, some derbies allow you to run 80s and newer bumpers, some derbies allow you to run 4x4 square tubing bumper. So when it comes to the bumper, I'm a little leery of doing anything because I don't know exactly where this car is going to go yet. So don't really want to choose the weapon for the car before it goes, but I'm going to do some reading up on some rules. Everybody's going to be coming out on the rules soon within the next month or so I'll be able to determine where I think this car is going to go, because when they announce the rules, they usually announce their fair dates. So with all the fair dates comes where all the knowledge of where I can take this thing. So I don't know, I'm going to go out and check out the bumper pile, see if I can find something that looks half decent that I can put on the front of here. Let's see what I can find. Well, the bumper I chose for this car is this. It is about a 95 Buick bumper, and I just did a little bit of stitch welding to hold the top and the bottom together. I did weld some plates on the back to help me weld it onto the frame, just a 5x5 inch plate. But let's get this hung up here so we can get a good look at it, and then we can see if we can get her welded on. The ratchet straps! Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go around the bumper, like so, and then up to this. Okay, try it on the side behind me. So there we have the Buick bumper mounted to the front of this thing. I'm gonna have to give this thing a good polish.
Yeah, do some old stick.
Look at that shine. I'm just joking. I'm probably going to paint it black. It looks less intimidating when it's black or some other color. But I do like that chrome. I can actually see my face in it. We are going to have to shorten up the edges because it is wider, so we'll take the torch and make some cuts and fold it in, just like we did with the other Soalra. But this bumper here is really nothing that fancy. Don't exactly remember the exact year it's off of, but I do remember it's off a front-wheel drive 3800 series supercharged Buick, and I'm going to say maybe it was like a 92, 93. It was a OBD1, so I know it was earlier than 95. And it's been behind my shed now for probably 4 years, so figured it's time we throw it on a car because it isn't doing any good back then. I already did cut this one to the proper length. I'm going to try to I cut it off. I'm going to try to put it in backwards and re-weld it on. I don't really want to lose a lot of material, but I do want to actually make the bumper shorter, so that way I don't cause any problems. But let's get this thing welded on, and then maybe we'll give it a nice polish actually. I got some chrome polish, make this thing look all pretty. So I did a little bit of research, and I thought this was off of Celebrity, but I'm pretty sure this is off of Regal. I bought this car probably 2.5, 3 years ago, so I wasn't 100% sure. I did take a photo of the bumper, and I sent it into a couple of my local promoters and asked them if this could run their shows, because some of the shows around me says no full-size bumpers. Now, even though this is off a mid-size car, the rule says no full-size bumpers, but rebar is allowed. So you can run like a 98 Crown Vic factory rebar bumper. But because this bumper has chrome, I'm not 100% sure if they're going to allow it to run. So I guess I should have sent the photo in before I welded it on. But it's on there pretty sturdy now, and I think it looks great on the car. We hammered in the ends. This side here we cut and hammered in. And then this side here we kind of heated with a torch and then cut it and then hammered it in and then re-welded it. So both sides look about the same. I do have to say though, this is a mean looking bumper on the front of a stock Soalra. So let's get it on the ground and take a good look at it. Oh, I forgot to weld that. Jeez, I'll have to do that later. I forgot to weld that. Oh. Gotta love that the factory hood shocks still work. But I don't know, I think this car looks pretty good. It is just about ready for the demolition derby. All we got to do now is the wiring, tie the doors shut, paint job, and maybe install an alternator. Maybe. Depending how energetic I feel. I find these cars don't really need an alternator. Our heats around here are maximum 10 minutes long. So as long as you have a good battery and you have it charged before you go in, you should be fine. And then charge it between rounds. If you guys remember that HHR I ran there last year, I lost the alternator after the first derby, and I did 4 derbies with that car. And it even had electronic power steering, so there was no hydraulic power steering. It was all electronic, done inside, right on the steering column, and I never once killed the battery on that car. So, I don't know. We'll see if I put an alternator to it. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that yet, but we'll see. So the bumper's on. It's pretty mean. It's pretty mean. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you back here tomorrow.